What's going on, guys? I just got done reading an article by Zach Rosenblatt covering the New York Jets for The Athletic. He was talking training camp battles specifically on the offensive line, and he predicted that Billy Turner could start the season for the Jets at right tackle, and then like Makai Becton would be worked in after that. Now, I'm not saying Zach is wrong. That could happen. That would be very concerning at this point about Makai Becton's injury with how good a shape he looks, and if that knee still isn't ready by the start of the season, then we have like massive questions just about his career in general. So I hope that's not the case, but to me this is twofold here, and there's kind of a positive component to it and a negative component to it depending on how you want to look at it. The positive component to me is Makai Becton's in really good shape, and Makai Becton is easily one of the top 5 talented offensive linemen on this team, and our offensive line will be a lot better with him on the field this year than it was with him off the field the previous 2. I think he's actually more suited to play right tackle. I just think the physical run dominance is typically what you more think of as your right tackle. I'm sure he'll get a chance to play left in the future. That's what he wants to do. But really more on guys like Billy Turner and Max Mitchell. I think we've bundled it in there of, oh, it's a competition at right tackle. Becton, Mitchell, Billy Turner, pick one. Anyone will do. And I got to say, in my opinion, the gap between healthy, in-shape Makai Becton and Max Mitchell or Billy Turner is massive. Massive. To me, this is a competition between Makai Becton and his own knee. Full stop. And if the Jets are to have a good offensive line, it's got to start with Becton being there week 1. Now, yes, they do have good depth. I think Billy Turner, number 1, I liked his tape better at right guard. And I understand that Rodgers won, it was the MVP with him at right tackle, but that offensive line also had David Bakhtiari, all-pro left tackle, Elton Jenkins, Pro Bowl guard. They had Corey Lindsey for a while, Pro Bowl center. I just don't think the Jets have the kind of dudes across the offensive line where you can have now an older Billy Turner thrown in there and you're going to have a really good offensive line if he's your plan A. He's a decent plan B if somebody has to miss a game and you can plug him in. I don't love it. I don't love him starting week 1 against Buffalo, to be honest. And Max Mitchell. Now, Max Mitchell had both a good and bad season depending on your perspective. Now, if your perspective is, okay, this was a day 3 pick from the Sun Belt Conference who probably should have gotten a redshirt season, thrown in there week 1 and doesn't completely implode, right? Isn't a complete and utter turnstile. Okay. To me, Max Mitchell already has checked off that he can probably be a long-term backup tackle in the NFL, at least. So, solid. But if I'm going to look back at what Max Mitchell did last year with the lens of this is our starting right tackle on a good offensive line on a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, I didn't see that. And neither did the analytics, because he was hemorrhaging pressures and sacks at as high a rate as just about any Jet starting tackle over the last few seasons. Now, he's a rookie. He can get better. I'm just going off of what I saw last season. That's just my opinion. So, Becton, he's got to be that dude, man. He's got to be that dude. And then the second piece of this is at center, Conor McGovern. I think he's a better offensive lineman than Max Mitchell and Billy Turner, but similarly, man, if we're going to have a really good offensive line, to me, it's got to be Brown, Lakin bouncing back, Tippmann beating out McGovern, AVT, and Becton. And on McGovern, last year, the pass pro really became an issue. He's always been a pretty good run blocker. I think he's been the farthest from our biggest issue on the offensive line the past 3 years. I think he does get a little bit too much hate from our fan base. He's all right, but at the end of the day, he's making $2 million for a reason. That's because, the league saw him as a backup, a high-quality backup, but a backup at this point in his career. And with Tippmann, maybe it's unfair to say for a rookie, but man, when you're the first center off the board, yeah, I think the expectation is you come in and you're an above-average starter right away. I want Creed Humphrey. I want Creed Humphrey out of Joe Tippmann because we should have got Creed Humphrey the first time, and I think he can do it. I love that pick. So I know these competitions, you just, okay, whatever happens, let the best man win. But to me, if we're going to have a good offensive line, those best men need to be Joe Tippmann and Makai Becton. That's just my 2 cents, and we'll talk all soon.